We're kicking off 2026 with a brand new episode of Spaceflight News. This week, leadership shifts reshape the entire launch industry. Starship quietly moves closer to operational readiness, and the new year comes with launches from 3 different space powers. My name is Connor, and welcome to another amazing episode of Spaceflight News. Just days after leaving United Launch Alliance, Tory Bruno is joining Blue Origin. He'll run a new national security group, reporting directly to CEO Dave Limb. And the timing tells you exactly what is about to happen. Blue Origin wants a serious slice of the military space, and they want it soon, with New Glenn as the centerpiece and Blue Ring as the supporting platform. Now over to Mars, where Perseverance is just basically refusing to slow down. Nearly 5 years after landing, it's still performing so well that the team is now certifying it for up to 100 kilometers. It's already logged more than 40, climbing out of the Jezero crater, and it's working along the crater rim, even as the entire Mars sample return mission is in limbo after NASA proposed cancelling it in its 2026 budget. What's interesting here is that no matter what, science just doesn't pause. The Perseverance rover keeps caching samples like the pickup mission is guaranteed to happen, even if the politics are still not yet that certain. Now, the NASA administrator story you've all been waiting for, with the context that you all need. Isaacman is confirmed. He is by no means a traditional NASA pick. Instead, he's a private astronaut and he's an entrepreneur. He's best known for commanding Inspiration 4 in 2021, the first all-civilian orbital mission, and later for flying Polaris Dawn, which pushed private human spaceflight even further. Earlier in 2025, his nomination was pulled after Trump and Musk had a fallout in May. According to reports though, Vice President JD Vance stepped in to smooth that relationship out and line up Senate support so Isaacman could be renominated and then quickly confirmed. Well, that happened. He was renominated in early November, and then he was confirmed in early to mid-December. The big takeaway is what it represents. NASA is led by someone who came up through commercial space at the exact moment where NASA's future is increasingly tied to it. A quick ISS note before we move on. NASA is preparing 2 spacewalks in January. The first on January 8th, which will set up the station's power systems for a new solar array. And the second on January 15th, which is for maintenance, including replacing cameras and installing a new navigation aid, with the crew assignment still to be finalized. Over at the launch site, SpaceX installed a brand new actuator on the tower arms, used for catching Super Heavy and Starship. These are noticeably larger than the previous version, which suggests that SpaceX is prioritizing precision, control, and long-term reliability over raw speed. Catching rockets isn't just about moving fast, it's mostly about doing it the same way every single time. At the exact same moment, work on the ship disconnect arm is coming together. Most of the cryogenic swivel joints are now installed, allowing propellant to flow through the arm into the vehicle. This system is one of the final pieces needed before Starship can support routine operations at the pad. On the testing side, SpaceX rolled out a new adapter section and mounted it on the Booster 18.3 test tank. This setup is being used to push the version 3 Starship structure beyond flight load limits, including new hardware tied to stage separation. It's not flashy, but it's exactly the kind of testing needed before committing to the next generation of designs. And behind the scenes, SpaceX is clearly tightening its safety margins around the COPVs. New test tracks have been built to individually verify each COPV pressure vessel that store critical gas after earlier ground test failures. Instead of assuming batch reliability, it looks like SpaceX is now going to validate each and every single one before it ever even flies. And now onto launches this week. The handoff from 2025 into 2026 kept launchpads busy around the world. The final launches of 2025 came on December 30th. Russia closed out the year with the Soyuz launch from Vostochny, sending 2 optical Earth observation satellites into orbit. On the same day, China wrapped up its 2025 launch manifest with a Long March 7A, flying a pair of technology demonstration satellites. As the calendar flipped, SpaceX immediately took the lead. On January 3rd, a Falcon 9 lifted off from Vandenberg carrying the CSG-3, an Earth observation satellite for the Italian Space Agency and part of its reconnaissance constellation. Just one day later, SpaceX followed up from Cape Canaveral with another Falcon 9, deploying 29 Starlink satellites as the network continues its steady expansion. It was a smooth transition into a new year and a familiar reminder of which company currently sets the pace for orbital launches: SpaceX. And that's it for the first episode of 2026. If you want fast, clear coverage of where spaceflight is actually heading, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next week. Bye.